Sometimes when I walk into my office, I get the feeling that I'm walking among the ruins of a lost civilization. Not because of the reigning disorder, but because it feels like the remains of the civilized person I used to be.
Where is that damn detective? I'm gonna rip his head off. I swear I'll tear his eyes out. Hey! Hand over the pictures, you bastard! Now!
Do I know you? Your face rings a bell, but...
You've been spying on me! You took pictures of me with a lady!
Well, then you'll understand why I didn't really focus on your face, right? I don't enjoy meddling in others' affairs, but it's my job, and I've got bills to pay. You're the one cheating on your wife, buddy. This is on you.
Hey, I'm no two-timer, I swear. It only happened once, for God's sake. I'm just her bodyguard, that's all. She seduced me.
You protect that girl, and I spy on people like you. We all have to be professional, no matter how sick it makes us at times.
Okay, how about this? You give me those pictures, and tell her a white lie, and I pay you 10 times what she's offering. You save my family, and you make a pretty penny. Look, partner, I've been asking about you. You're a good detective, but I know you've seen better days. You've had nothing but crappy cases lately, like this one. I'm offering you a way out.
3.
Thank God!
2.
Put that money to good use.
1. My uninvited guest had left me several gifts. First of all, a massive headache. Second of all, more money than I deserved.
He's a nice guy. You'll, You see what I said about my pal BlackSad?
Jake, how the hell am I supposed to guess it's you if you don't even knock first?
Shut up and listen, buddy. All right? I brought you a client.
And that's why we need to find him soon, or we will have a very serious problem.
Bobby Yale, a boxer at Dunn's gym, has a crucial fight against the reigning champion in 2 weeks. But he disappeared 2 days ago.
Yes.
Your father, Joe Dunn, boxing manager and gym owner, hanged himself 2 days ago.
Yes.
In short, if Bobby Yale is a no-show for his fight, you'll have to pay a fine. But since you don't have the cash on hand, your father's gym would have to close.
Yes.
Oh, I see. Well, first of all, please accept my condolences.
Thank you.
Damn it, John. Will you take the case or not?
I will, but we're talking about Madison Square Garden. The stakes are high, which can only mean things will get ugly behind the scenes. Not to mention pricey.
Yes, Mr. BlackSad. If you find Yale and he fights, I'll be able to pay you whatever you ask for.
That cleaning lady, Mary, Purnell, the one who found Joe Dunn's body, she works part-time at Sam's Diner, just down the road on the left, right?
That's right.
I think I might pay her a visit as well. And the gym, of course, to see what I can find.
Your burger is ready.
All right, I'll let you enjoy your meal.
4 people used the back door that very same night.
What?
Well, I might be blind as a bat, but as you can certainly see, I have 2 wonderfully functional ears. Thank you very much for remembering the cheese, by the way.
4 people used the back door 2 days ago?
Unlocked the door, stepped inside, then came right back out.
Who was the second person to use the back door?
A man, just a few minutes after the first person. He came back out muttering, "Ungrateful bastard."
Who was the third person to use the back door?
Judging by the quiet footsteps, I'd say it was someone small. I'd say it was about 30 minutes after the second person came out. Whoever it was threw something in the trash and stood in front of me for a moment. Then I heard a click. And finally, I heard trailing laughter in that direction.
Who was the fourth person to use the back door?
Someone big. I recall heavy breathing. The person left in a hurry, running in that direction.
And there you go. We'll miss you at Sam's Diner. Come back soon. Welcome to Sam's Diner.
BlackSad, Private Eye. I work for Sonia Dunn. I need to ask you some questions about Joe Dunn.
That was his spot. I think everyone liked him.
Can you tell me how you found Dunn's body?
Well, I thought I was alone. I clean early in the morning before Mr. Dunn comes in.
Oh, so you have keys to the gym.
Yes, of course. There was paint on the floor, so I thought it'd be a busy morning. And then I saw him, hanging there, like a baby mobile over a crib. Then I think I panicked. When I calmed down, I called the police and waited outside.
It might be best to stay away from the gym, at least for a while, for your own well-being. In due time, things might change. I hope that wasn't a client. Although probability would suggest a cold call. Or, even worse, the War Veterans Therapy Group. I was pretty sure I left the lockpicks on the table. Most detectives feel safe with a gun in their pocket. Me, I prefer lockpicks. Good old Weekly did a fine job with these pictures.
Hello?
BlackSad here.
Please don't tell me. My husband...
You have nothing to worry about, Mrs. Colbert. Do me a favor and enjoy your family.
Oh, thank God. Thank you, Mr. BlackSad.
Looking back, I wish I'd never found my lockpicks. Maybe I wouldn't have gone back to the gym. All hell was about to break loose. Bobby Yale's place was on the way, so I decided to drop by, lockpicks in hand. The gym could wait. Sonia and Jake had already searched the place, to no avail. But a good detective would have better luck. I know it might not seem like it, but... When someone hits you like that, you know you're onto something.
Well, well, well. Long time no see. My wife just called me. I owe you one. Now leave before my partner...
Damn cat. Well done, Colbert. Now.
Are you of Irish descent?
I've got an Irish boss, just like my friend Colbert here. I'm sure the name O'Leary rings a bell, right?
Desmond O'Leary. If you live in New York City, you've certainly heard of the richest bookie in town. After everything that's happened, I was beginning to feel like this case was finally moving forward.
Wrong answer!
But I was wrong.
Seriously, what the hell are you doing here?
I know your friend Colbert and his wife.
Now he wants to insult you. All right then, he's all yours. All right. Now it's your turn. I'll call the boss.
I want you to yell like I'm beating the crap out of you, okay?
Yeah, hired by Dunn's daughter. Safe and sound? What do you mean exactly? Oh, sure. Will do. Colbert, stop hitting him, you beast.
What a shame. We were just getting to know each other.
Thank you, Mr. BlackSad.
Does the postman always leave your mail on the floor?
I don't know,
What's wrong?
It's my mother's wedding ring.
What the?
What's wrong?
Someone's taking pictures from the rooftop.
Are you sure?
I'll go take a look. What the hell are you doing here?
Hey, look! Isn't that Cassidy?
Don't change the subject, you sad little...
Why don't we settle this over ice cream, huh, John? Just like in the good old days.
How did you get up here? I don't want anyone to see you. Everyone, even the most hapless of creatures, has a gift. Something that makes them special, that makes them worth knowing. Foul-smelling Weekly is no exception. No matter what he does, it's impossible to stay mad at him for too long.
This bourbon shake is delicious. Want a taste?
You know I don't like milk.
Your loss. So, Joe Dunn hangs himself and leaves his gem to his daughter.
I don't think Dunn killed himself.
What?
It's just a hunch. I wouldn't bet my life on it. I've got other suspects, like O'Leary, the bookmaker.
Desmond O'Leary? The same O'Leary who used to date Helen Moore? America's sweetheart? Now that's a woman.
And then there's the Walrus. Who was that guy?
Come on. You've never heard of Frank Cassidy? The president of the Boxing Managers Association?
Who's also Stone's agent, Bobby Yale's rival.
Hey, he might have a motive, right?
Cassidy could have had a motive to kill Dunn. Weekly had already proven to be nosy. The farther I kept him from the gym, the better. But with Weekly, you just never know what the best approach might be. You might be right about Cassidy. But, it won't be easy to make him talk. He seems like a pretty tough cookie. Only a thorough and efficient detective could pull it off. But the problem is, I already got enough on my plate.
You're a lucky man, John BlackSad.
I don't follow.
You just found the thorough detective you need.
Oh, of course. What a great idea. How did I not think of you?
Hey, don't sweat it.
Of course.
What the hell? Hey, Jake, give me one good reason not to smash in your face. What the hell are you doing in my locker? Sometimes, John, I could just punch you.
Okay, Jake.
I told you.
Desmond O'Leary.
Huh?
I know you work for him.
Now you're just making stuff up. Why would you say that? Let's say you're right. So what? What are you gonna do, huh?
I won't do a thing, but please, tell me the truth.
Okay, I guess I should have said something. Business isn't going that well lately. Natalia was my last well-paying job. Hey, O'Leary might run an illegal gambling operation, but it's not like he's killing people or conning with us. And I'm just a bodyguard. I make sure no one gets hurt. What I do, including my contract and paycheck, is 100% legal. How bad can that be?
Please.
Well, I guess there's no point in hiding it now. I was here the day Dunn died.
Go on.
I had to take care of some business for O'Leary. He makes me wear the shamrock when I work for him. As you know, I left the damn thing in my locker.
Say no more. You came in the back door.
How did you... Yeah, that's it. Joe had mentioned he'd been painting that afternoon, but I forgot. I stopped in my tracks when I saw him screaming bloody murder at Bobby Yale at the top of the scaffold. Something like, if you do that, I'll call off the fight and make sure you never set foot in this gym again. I didn't want them to see me, so I left.
Jake, why didn't you tell me?
I thought you'd be pissed off.
Well, you were wrong.
I'm sorry, John. I should have said something.
Let's just say you owe me one, all right?
You sure drive a hard bargain, John. All right.
Time to go. I'd like to take a look inside that safe now. Could you give me the combination?
I'd love to help you, but my mother's birthday used to be the combination, but I already tried it.
And there it was. Mary's birthday.
You open the safe?
Yeah, and I think you need to see this. Can you tell me what it says?
All right. I think this might be useful for the investigation, Mr. Detective. He left everything to me, except some boxing trophies and knickknacks that'll go to Bobby Yale.
When was it signed?
It was written 4 years ago, just weeks after I moved to Buffalo.
Do you think Bobby Yale read it before he disappeared?
Maybe.
Congratulations. You're one lucky lady.
I'll pretend I didn't hear that.
I know you're hiding something.
What?
You're the only woman who ever called Dunn Joey, except his late wife.
My goodness. I can't talk here. My shift is over in 10 minutes. Can you wait a while?
Can I get a refill over here, Mary?
Coming right up.
Mary Purnell, the angel Joe Dunn found in his golden years.
We'd been seeing each other for almost 2 years. It all started with, well, weekdays I start cleaning the gym at dawn, before my shift at the diner. Joey always came in early, just a little after I got there. He used to say it was the best time for the worst task of the day.
Worked out first thing, huh?
Oh, no. He used to say that showing his boxers how to fight was exercise enough. Paperwork. He just hated it. But that was just him. Instead of putting off the things he couldn't stand, he did them as soon as possible. One morning, he saw me crying. I was having a rough day, and
He tried to make you smile.
he pointed at the coffee machine. You need a cup of joe and some fresh air. That was the first of many cups on the rooftop.
Which is where Dunn seduced you.
That word is a bit too much, Mr. BlackSad. You might be too young to understand this, but real love has little to do with seduction. One day, we realized those rooftop coffees were the best part of our day. So we began to spend more time together.
Or perhaps you told someone else?
No one. Joey didn't want Sonia to hear about it from someone else before we were sure of the relationship. He was afraid that our relationship would only make matters worse. Until one day, on the rooftop, we realized just how serious our relationship was. And we decided to turn those moments into a lifetime.
So he asked you to marry him.
Yes, of course. I lost my scarf a while back, not sure where. And now, if you'll excuse me, that's my bus stop. A pleasure to speak with you, Mr. BlackSad.
But I think I know who had your mother's ring.
You do?
Mary Purnell. I think she was in love with your father.
Thank you.
Smirnoff.
Joe Dunn, the boxing coach. You hear anything about his death?
BlackSad. Is that you?
I'm just asking a simple question, Chief. Do you have any information on Joe Dunn's suicide?
Oh, I'm fine. Thanks for asking. Too much work as usual. I haven't been able to assign an officer to that Joe Dunn suicide case. You haven't even heard of it.
Dunn and the gym's cleaning lady were about to get married.
Great. Call What's News. They'll know what to do with such an incredibly interesting piece of information.
The combination on Dunn's safe was her birthday. He even gave her a ring. You know, your typical suicidal bliss.
Okay, I'm still not convinced, but I might have something for you.
Life is often off-key, like a bad song. The notes come together but feel flat, unable to create anything resembling music. And yet, there are ways to string them together to create harmony. Ways that are not always entirely in our hands.
You look tired, John. I'd love to help you out with this case, but I can't. You know I work for the state of New York. If I had any information, I couldn't share it with a private eye, even if it was lying on top of this table.
You said you were starving. Why don't you go to the counter and order something?
Yeah, sure, good idea. If you'll excuse me. Now that I think of it, I better eat at home. It's healthier.
Thanks.
Truth is, John, it all seemed clear to me before, but now? Please, promise me you won't take the law into your own hands.
You can count on it.
Take care, John.
As always, Smirnov had given me new, potentially relevant information. Not to mention second thoughts. When an old dog like him gets that serious, one must be prepared to bite.
I always knew Bobby had issues.
A part of me thinks Bobby Yale didn't do it.
But the chest expander, the box in his locker, the marks on my father's neck. It all leads to him. In any case, that doesn't change a thing.
It does, actually. Now we know he didn't kill himself.
My father's still dead, and you still haven't found Bobby Yale. Nothing has changed. Opening the safe and finding my father's will won't help us achieve anything. So please hurry. Time's wasting.
Sonia's indifference never ceased to amaze me. But most importantly, why was she so opposed to Yale?
John BlackSad? I think I owe you an apology. Listen, I don't think my fellow workers treated you with the respect you deserve. I'm so sorry they wrinkled your suit. The thing is, they didn't know we shared a common goal. Bobby Yale. I want to find him and get to the bottom of this as much as you do, Mr. BlackSad. So please. Thank you, BlackSad. You won't regret this. So let's cut to the chase. I need Bobby Yale to fight Stone. There's just too much money at stake. So, I'm offering you my help to find Yale. You're a good detective, and well, let's just say I have my own ways of making people talk. Please, hear me out. Let's say I bet a beer that we find Yale in 3 days, and you bet a beer that we don't. In 3 days, one of us has to buy the other a beer. Is that so bad? We're simply two grown men using our money and free will to conduct a small private exchange. And most importantly, we're not hurting anyone. But I'll tell you what is wrong. The way our government is ruining America. We live in a so-called free country, a place where honest people can make a living, provided they don't hurt anybody. We're not communists. Well, at least I'm not. Ha! I knew you would. When the government passes these laws, there's only one legitimate weapon the people can wield. The same weapon that turned America into a great nation. But what's past is past. I wasn't always a boss, you know. No, sir. I started at the bottom, when Lucky Blitzen ran the show. That good for nothing. His was a reign of terror, extortion, violence, you know, that sort of unpleasant thing. When I took over, I decided I'd make people want to do my bidding. Not out of fear, but out of gratitude. I decided to help people so they would help me.
That beating your thugs gave me was really helpful. Thank you so much.
Those poor bastards didn't even know you were a detective, that you were on our side.
Maybe at first.
Don't you worry. I will have a serious talk with him. I cannot tolerate this behavior. Please accept my apologies, Mr. BlackSad. You see, a lot of people work for me. Many families depend on my business. Not only that, St. Christopher's Hospice practically lives on my donations. The widows of my late employees are set for life. Their kids get free schooling. The cops leave me alone because they know my business doesn't hurt anyone. On the contrary. And, it looks like we're here. I told you I'm on your side. Go ahead, search the place. I'll wait down here. When you're done, maybe you'll change your mind and share your findings with me. Or not. It's your call, Mr. BlackSad. I'll make sure you're suitably compensated. Wilson, Come here.
Bobby seems like a nice kid, but I barely know him.
I'm not sure how Yale's love of pickles will help me crack the case, but it's good to know. A woman's fragrance. Almost angelical. I've never trusted angels.
Mr. BlackSad?
When they fall, they turn into demons.
Joey told me he was going to spend the afternoon painting the gym and that Bobby would be fixing something up on the roof. So, after I found the body and called the police, I went to Bobby's place, but he wasn't there.
How did you open the door to his apartment?
I think it was already open. Everything is so confusing. I'm sorry, Mr. BlackSad.
Don't be. I'm here to figure it all out. What's your relationship with Bobby Yale?
He was like a son to Joey, and we were about to get married, so, you know.
Okay, I think it's time to set things straight. I knew you were cheating on Dunn with Yale. Or was it the other way around?
No! How can you even think of something like that?
How can you convince me otherwise? I found a picture at Yale's apartment. It's you and him on a roller coaster. Care to explain, Miss Purnell?
I'm not white, Mr. BlackSad. 7 of my great-grandparents were white. The 8th was black. According to law, I'm a black citizen, even if my skin says the contrary.
I'm black too, and I don't hide it.
Well, at least you're a man.
In any case, what's that have to do with Bobby Yale?
He's my nephew, Mr. BlackSad. Joe and I first started taking care of poor Bobby when my sister died. That was when he was almost 15. The 3 of us went on that trip to Luna Park. Bobby was the only one who knew about me and Joey. We were afraid that someone would use my past to ruin his career.
It's not the first time I hear that story. I'm sorry I accused you so lightly.
Don't worry, I understand. Oh, where are my manners? I'm the worst hostess in the world. Let me go get a knife from the kitchen. And you must be thirsty. Let me see. OJ? Coffee?
When are you going to stop lying? I know your nephew is here. I can smell him.
What? No. I already told you I don't know where he is.
Look, I understand why you're protecting him, but it's in his best interest to end this hide and seek.
You can search the whole house if you want. Go ahead.
So, that's why you were sitting there.
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, you do. Could you step aside so I can check, please?
Please go. I mean it.
I don't want to hurt you.
Leave her alone! But I'm not on yours.
Bobby! Bobby! Oh, Bobby! Thank you, Bobby. Bobby. Thank you.
lots of reasons to consider this a great day. I had investigated a suicide case. I had discovered that, in truth, we were dealing with a murder. I had found and captured the prime suspect. And I had saved a life. And yet, everything in me screamed that something was going wrong. Terribly wrong.
Promise me you won't take the law into your own hands. I'd like to think we're not just vigilantes.
I want a gun!
What the hell?
Bang, bang, bang!
A fair amount of violence, extortion, and casualties.
I hate detectives.
Bang, bang, bang!
You're dead meat, cat.
That you, Smirnoff?
Yale's not going anywhere.
I can watch Yale on my own.
No doubt. I just saw exactly how vigilant you always are. As for what happened yesterday, I asked you not to get involved, or at least give me a heads up. Anyway, what's done is done. When exactly did you realize that he killed Dunn?
Would you let me ask him some questions when he wakes up?
I know you will, with or without my permission, so I'd rather not feel betrayed. In exchange, drop by the station when you can. Your investigation could really help my men. Who, by the way, must be waiting for me to interrogate Mary Purnell. Boy, she was hard to pry from Yale's side.
She's been through a lot in the past days. Be nice to her.
We're not just vigilantes. And as for you, go get some rest. God knows you need it. You're in charge now, officer.
Okay.
I'll send you relief in 6 hours. Understood?
Doctor, will he be ready to fight in 2 weeks?
It's too soon to tell. He did have a heart attack after all.
Go away. I don't want to see you. The doctor told me to sleep.
I saved your life, son.
Maybe my aunt feels gratitude. I certainly don't.
Who killed Joe Dunn?
What? Are you trying to confuse me?
Dunn was too short to hang himself with that rope.
So, it's true?
I know Dunn threatened to call off the fight. Why?
How do you know that?
I'm a detective.
That was his anger talking. He never really meant it.
That doesn't matter. Why was he so mad at you? What did you do?
Nothing. Joe thought that I wasn't training hard enough. That I was going to lose.
All right. Let's just say that I believe you. The murderer killed Dunn with a chest expander and planted evidence to make us believe it was suicide. But he also left enough clues behind to make sure we found the true murder weapon. What about Frank Cassidy? Do you think he has a motive?
Maybe. A few weeks ago, Joe took me to a boxing managers association meeting.
Headed by Cassidy.
Yeah. He was obsessed with making it illegal for boxers to fight without a manager, or without an associated manager. Everyone seemed to go along with it until Joe spoke up. He said that would lower us to mob status, that Cassidy had founded the association just to make money by monopolizing the sport. That made others think twice. And Cassidy ended up empty-handed.
What about Sonia Dunn?
Sonia? I doubt it. She's odd, but she's his daughter.
I've seen worse, believe me.
BlackSad. I think I owe you an,
I'm just doing...
See? There's no fever whatsoever. He must be having a nightmare.
Are you sure?
Wouldn't you have nightmares too, after what he went through yesterday?
Honey, get me a pack of Morleys for Mr. Hanson.
Trauma? Sherry speaking.
Get Dr. Gregor Talbot, please.
Yes, 1 minute. No, actually, Dr. Talbot won't be in until 12:30 according to my registry. Can I ask who's calling, please?
Sherry, this is Dr. Talbot. We have to reschedule the 12:30 procedure. I want everyone in the operating room in 5 minutes. If anyone gives you any grief, tell them it's a matter of life or death. Understood?
A matter of life and death, a matter of life and death. You gotta be kidding me. These people.
All right now. How do I put this? I need something that you...
Oh, but be quick about it. You hear me, huh? If that witch comes back...
Miss, I've got orders. And the fact is, those orders say that...
Here you are, Miss Dunn. This is my assistant, Jerry.
Assistant? How so?
You think I'd make a good detective?
You wanted in? You got in. Don't complain.
True. Thanks. Anyway, you did your job. I'll send you a check the day after the fight. You can leave now.
Sonia, don't.
He killed my father. You said so yourself.
No, I told you I thought he was innocent.
He almost killed you in that floozy's apartment. How could he not be guilty?
Your father sacrificed everything to pay your way through college. If you do this, you'll destroy the future your father wanted you to have. Shh. It's okay.
Uncle Tim!
Sweetie, I came back from Los Angeles as soon as I could. Don't be silly. Look at you. Smart, educated, as dazzling as the brightest of stars. Every single man in this city should be at your feet. Come on, we'd better let him rest. I see. Let's say you're right and Bobby Yale is innocent. Who should we focus on now?
We?
Someone seems really invested in stopping that fight. And someone has to pay Mr. BlackSad to get to the bottom of all this.
All right. Thank you, Uncle. Thank you so much.
All right, stop crying or you'll ruin your makeup, honey. Now fix yourself up and I'll buy you some breakfast.
Wait, my purse.
I'll get it. It must be...
BlackSad, wait a minute. I think she needs some time alone, just like you and me. Listen, boy, do whatever it takes to find Joe's murderer. Whatever it takes. If things get messy, don't worry. I'll clean them up. Deal? I trust you to get that ball to the end zone.
No. Are you telling stories about the great Iron Arm again?
Wait a minute. Of course. The Milestones quarterback. Tim Iron Arm Thorpe.
It's a good thing folks usually recognize me sooner. BlackSad, you coming to breakfast?
I'd love to, but I have to go ask for a favor.
Take 5. Go on. What, John?
You lied to me yesterday. And being the good friend that I am, I kept your secret. You owe me. I don't think I'd keep protecting you if we weren't friends. Although, if we were friends, you wouldn't hesitate to help me. Tell me, Jake, are we friends or not?
Damned cat. All right. O'Leary's hideout is in the basement of a Chinese restaurant. Ronald, the break's over.
After 30 hours of work and several beatings, every bone in my body ached for a bed.
Now it's my turn.
So I went home to recharge. Because the night ahead was bound to be promising.